Good morning, everybody. Today I am starting on my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, and this is volume 3. I did volume 1. I did not take part in volume 2, and I'm excited to be doing the third one, which is Down the Garden Path, and it's done in a roll. I am fortunate to have one of these lovely bobbins, and this was gifted to me a few years ago now from Jean Rag. Thank you so much, Jean. It's been an ornament up until now, and I absolutely love it. It's got the metal around it, and now it's going to have its purpose. Still ornamental, but it will have something on it. And this is, I think it's the 6-inch one. Where's my tape measure? Here we go. So the inside measurement is, it's about just over 6, so 6 1/8, which is approximately 15.5. It's exactly 15.5 centimeters on the inside. And I have cut my fabric 14.5 centimeters, which is about, I don't know what that is. Let's have a look. That way is about approximately 5 3/4, I guess you could say. I've left a little bit of space in case there's any hangover. I will try not to get too much hangover on my piece. We'll see how we go. So I've cut 2 pieces. I'm going to start off with this one, and then I've got that one cut to size and pressed already if I need more. This, it's not very big. It's about 60 centimeters long, which is what, about 24 inches. And I thought that's probably big enough. And I am I'm starting on this side, but that is not going to be attached to my spool. I want mine to go this way, so that when I'm just rolling it onto the spool right now, and of course it'll take up a lot more room than this by the time it's finished, so that when it's finished and I open it up like that, it will be on the inside there, and my story will unravel like that. On the outside, there's not a lot, like when it's sat on a shelf like that, there's only from here around to there. What's that? Let's see. Out there, I said. There's only about 6 inches that you see when it's sat there. So I will probably do, something on that 6 inches, and the rest I will probably have another fabric or something. I haven't really thought that far ahead, but I do want my story unraveling that way rather than the opposite way. So I'll be starting on this side. Just take that off. Now, if you don't have one of these spools, because they can be quite pricey to buy, I did have a look online to see what was available in Australia, so I didn't have to pay extra shipping, and there's very little available, and what was available is quite, pricey. If you've got a nice sturdy cylinder, like this one came off a roll of tulle, that's the same height. It is a little bit thicker, but that's okay. And you could make your own disc for the top and the bottom and make your own. All you have to do is layer up a few thicknesses of cardboard or even a piece of a wooden disc or something, and you would have the same sort of thing. It's just a thought. Now, there are lots of even a piece of dowel would do, you know, a broom handle, cut it up or something like that. Anyway, getting off track there. So our prompt, and this is some linen sheeting. It's an old linen sheet that was quite threadbare in places, and it was a fitted sheet. And so this is the part of the fabric from around the side of the sheet that got very little wear. So it's still in really good condition. So I'm using this, and I've just ripped it to size. Now, I'm a little bit out of practice with this because I didn't take part in the last one, and I haven't really done any stitching in the last 6 months. Odd bits here and there in my journals, but that's it. So I did grab some green because I saw that Sarah did a lot of texture on her piece. Looks absolutely beautiful. But I also like the way Rachel has hers, you know, just done kind of flat. I do have an idea of how I want to do my garden. It is going to be horizontal, like I said, starting at this side. I want mine to sort of tell a little story as it goes past. So I did a little sketch up. Maybe I'll go get that and show you. Just a moment. Okay, so what I thought I would do, and I actually drew this up before I saw Sarah's, but I'll incorporate textures and things within the flowers themselves, which is kind of what I did in the last, in the volume 1 anyway. But I drew up a sketch, and bear in mind, good plans, you know, and all that, they can change. So this is what I'm thinking. This is kind of along the lines I'm thinking. As you can see, I did this before I even cut fabric or anything out. I want to like sort of come out of a cottage or something like that and have a path meandering, just looking, you know, at where the path goes. And of course it will continue on like that, you know, to a garden fence. And along the way have different things, like there's a bird bath here, and there's an arbor here, there's a large tree, and then it comes forward again, so all the things get larger again. So I'm trying to get that closeness and distance along with texture. Like this will start off, this one here will start off quite large because you're looking out into the distance. It gets smaller, you've got a tree, then it comes up close again, and then veers off into the distance a little bit more towards the garden gate. I do want a background of the, you know, the patch like Rachel did of fabrics with the slow stitching on it. And I want some 3D elements, some different things, like it's not all embroidery. It's not all, like I'd like to do some ribbon embroidery in it as well. Not that I've done a lot of that, but you know, to help do something like that. But if I've got like if I had a tiny little butterfly or something, a button or something, I want to incorporate all that sort of thing as well. It's hard to sort of say what I mean. But that's my idea of how I'm going to do mine, so that as I unroll it, I'm looking down the garden path, literally. These angles aren't the way, this was just my first attempt. Like that seems a little bit sharp there for me. I would prefer it to be more gradual like that. So that's basically what I'm thinking of. So from looking at this, I know I want to do some patched fabric on the background. to get it started. This sort of thing I will add to the foreground sort of thing. And I'm going to do mine like they said, like, okay, it's wildflowers. That's the prompt this week. So I might have a couple of large wildflowers here, a few scattered ones in the background here, medium ones, and some little ones over here somewhere. So I'll be working on it as I go along, which makes me think maybe I should, patch more than just a small portion of the background, so I can do it in one big piece, like you would do a painting, I guess. You don't just do one corner of a painting. You would do like paint by numbers, for example. You do all one color first. So let's say I do all my background and then I do all my wildflowers. I can always come back and add more later, but just to get the general feeling of it. That's what I'm thinking. And like when I do my path, I'd like to be able to do it, in a similar sort of format. What else? So I need to find some background fabrics. Oh, I just thought of something else I was going to say then. Now I've forgotten. I'm trying not to buy anything for this project. I'm pretty sure everything I need I already have. It's just a matter of looking for some things. And, that's just the way it is, isn't it? I can't remember. I didn't write any notes down. All I've got is the size of my stool, down the garden path. 1 is the foundation and wildflowers. I just thought of something. What I might do, see how there's a hole in there? What I might do after it's all finished, I may have a piece of paper like that and type up all the information, like each prompt and things like that. Roll it really tightly. Okay, hang on. And I made these some time ago, and they're not the right size at all. These are actually glued. But roll it up like a scroll. Oh no, it doesn't. Oh, it does a little. So it can slot inside. I think that's what I'll do. That was just a thought. Okay, see, one idea leads to another, doesn't it? So, because I was just thinking, how am I going to keep track of my prompts? And that's what I'll do. Okay, so I need some background fabrics. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera off because, like I said, this is all I've got out so far. Although I knew it was coming, I've been doing other stuff. So let me go find some fabrics for the background and then I'll be back. I just remember what I was going to say, and it was with these. Okay, see how I've got a lighter green? This is actually an old silk scarf. I know it doesn't look like silk, but it's actually got a little tag on it, and it says, what does it say? 100% silk French chiffon. I got that from an op shop, made in France. So there you go. I would have just thought it was crepe, but of course it is. It's crepe silk chiffon. But I love the way it has different shades in it. It's like an ombre scarf, and I've used it before. And with this, and I read this in a book, and I can't remember what book it was I read it in. It's a distance thing. Things up closer you would do in the lighter shades, And things in a distance you would do darker to give that appearance of distance. And so I'll be using this in my garden, in the, you know, the flower beds and things like that, to give that same effect by using lighter colours up close. Of course there'll be darker bits in it, and darker things like in the distance, like in the shadows. So that's what I'll be doing. This is another bit of scarf. This one actually has little sequins on it, but you can use it that way as well, and the sequins aren't so shiny. And there's also some threads on the bottom. Anyway, that's what I was going to say. So I want to keep that in mind with my background as well. You know, I want like perhaps lighter tones going to darker, coming to lighter, and then going darker again in the background as it goes along. So I'll have to bear that in mind with the fabrics I put on my background. I'll be back. So this is what I've been doing so far. I've got my whole strip open and I've just put 3 pieces down. This is the hard part, trying to find backing and seeing into the future, I guess. But anything can be changed in a way. And it doesn't have to be perfect. This is not a fine piece of embroidery work I'm doing. This is some fun. So I put it one in the middle there with a larger image on that, because that's how I want it coming towards me more, and then a faded piece at the end. And then I had a little rummage around and I've got these scraps of fabric. These, I made a cushion for my mother. She wanted a cushion in these colours, and I got the scraps. And there's some blues and greens in here, rather muted. And I thought maybe they would work. You know, like obviously a sky effect would be good. So I could try that. Let's see if it rips. I don't know if it... Oh, it will, yeah, okay. Not great at ripping, kind of distorts it, so that's not really a great idea. Don't know if I want to keep that. I might do. It's got numbers on it. That's all kind of off, but it's nice to have numbers occasionally in things, so I'll keep that one. So that, you know, could be a moody bit of sky, couldn't it? I'm thinking. I think so. A bit of moody sky there. What's on the other ones? See, these have got a bit more colour in them, so maybe let's just move it up a little bit. Like a piece down here. Because these will be stitched over. This is just for the background. No. Yeah, no, I'm not sure about that. Let me have a look at what I've got here. I've also got a piece of this. This has taken me far too long to do. I've tried many different alternative things and I didn't like any of them. So I'm going with just this for my background, just 2 different fabrics. I only had a small piece of this fabric, so I've used it sort of throughout. Then this is just, it was part of a doily I'd already started cutting up. It's been tea stained, And so I've used that. I still need to press it, but that's what I'm going with for my background. I was just making it far too complicated, using too many colours, and I can do that with all the flowers and things like that. So this is what I'm going with. I'm going to invisible stitch it all down. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Invisible, press it, invisible stitch it all down, and then we'll come back and see what it looks like. Okay, I'm back. It's a few days later. I forgot I hadn't filmed the end of it. So I have, this is how it is. I have stitched it all with invisible stitching onto my linen, and I did press it, but some of these things have been wrinkly for quite a long time, so but I like the texture that gives anyway. So that's what it looks like there. It's just put onto that, and I really do like it. The more I look at it, the happier I am that I went with this look rather than being overly colourful. I can add as much colour as I want to now, which I'm very happy with. I'm going to leave it there until they put their next set of videos up, because like I said, I'm out of practice with this, and I don't want to just go and stitch the background and then cover a lot of it up. I don't want to cover my work up if I can help it. I might do a little bit, we'll see. But I've been working on Susanna's project as well, so I need to bear in mind the time that I have to work on them. There's no like rush or anything like that. I can take as long as I want with these projects. But I just thought I'd update you on what it looks like now that it's been like basted on, basically. I like to do that. It feels really nice once you do that, and nothing moves around, keeps it nice and tidy. So I'll say goodbye for this project for the time being, and thank you for watching. I hope it wasn't too difficult to follow. I changed my mind so many times through this video that a lot of it might be edited out anyway because I spent far too long on the background and ended up with a very basic background in the end anyway. So I will see you in the next video. So take care, everybody. Bye.